Working on the Sensei again, removing the filter cap. Hi, afternoon YouTube, here with you on a Wednesday afternoon. I have determined a few things. The burnt resistor, which you have in my hand right now, is a 200 ohm resistor. You see that first band is red, second one's black, and the third one, which is very invisible, is brown. Now I determined this two ways, closely looking at this one that's burnt and going back and my original, I think it was the first time we did or second time we did the closer look of this radio. We looked at this section and clearly it was right there, visible before it burned. It's a little hard to tell from those photos and stuff, but pretty much coming up with the fact that it's red, black, brown. So that's 200 ohms. And the second one that I checked, well, I didn't check, but I mean I looked at, was this second resistor in this power supply pipe filter, and I came up with the fact that it is a yellow, purple, brown. That is 470 ohm. So we know already that there are the two resistors that are in there, and so I can safely take all this stuff out now. I've already started. I've taken the now let's see, this wire sticking up here is from the power cord. This wire sticking up here used to come. Let me get my pointy stick. It's a little easier. This wire here sticking off of the tube, the 50 EH5, is a heater, off the heater pin, and it used to go right here to this on the power cord. Change that just a little bit, and I have disconnected that because it's not going to go there. The temporarily I have taken the other line, this one here. Okay, it comes underneath here and goes directly to ground right here. And I'm sorry if that's hard to see. Let me pull back just a hair. There we go. I'll try to get everything in the shot. And it's going right here to this big pool of solder. I have disconnected the stuff from the switch, and you can see it's not perfectly clean, but it's a lot cleaner than it was. If I can get this on the other side, there we go. See, this is one terminal, here's the other terminal, and those have both been cleaned off to where I can put new wires on it. Let me get back over here. I had to resolder this one already on that tube, in the middle of that tube. That's probably it's ground probably. But anyway, I'm going to take this and move it around a little bit again. Now, as you clearly see, this is the wire coming, and I've got this one cut also, which I hope you can see. I've got this one cut. This is the wire coming from the diode, directly from the power. So this is the hottest, or not the hottest, but the most voltage on the radio that you're going to get right here. Now, this one does not, as far as I know, connect to anything. It may, I don't know. I didn't see where it did, but it just seems to go here and nowhere else. Now normally this 200 ohm resistor would have been connected between here and here, but for some reason they had run it, like I said, it was down here and went through this hole and back up to the same point where this connects to, which is the same thing, but you know, going through this chassis hole with a bare wire, you know what that leads to, and that's what it led to. That was the problem that I had yesterday when I tried to hook that in to use it, and I hit the side of it, and you know. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. Trying to explain this is this second filter cap. Like I said, this is the first one. These are all 60 microfarads. There's three. 1, 2, 3. And the second one, you'll find this 470 going to the other one, so that's the other part of the pie filter. And there is a wire going here, is this red wire, and if we trace that back or out or around or through or whatever, it's the one going to the audio transformer. So that makes sense. So, and the last one, the lower voltage of all three of them, is this one here. It has a total of 4 connections, I believe. You have one going here, which goes to pin 6 of the E50EH5, the audio output. This one here, which goes over to a 220k ohm, or no, that's not it. Hang on a second. And that's the, see, it's hard to see because I've got them over the top of one another here. Yeah, there it is. See, there's a third one there. It's hard to see. But anyway, one of these wires is connected to a 220k ohm resistor, and the other wire goes over to the function switch or selector switch. So I have all those traced out, and I do have a schematic on it, and I'm going to show you that now. Alright, now that you've seen that, you see I have my basic layout here, so I can safely remove all of this stuff here, and I've already started trying to do the filter capacitor. I think what I'm going to have to end up doing is either heating this up really good with the Weller gun I have, or I'm going to have to take the Dremel and go on top side and just cut it. See, the bad part about trying the Weller is I can get to this one just fine because there's plenty of room there, but the other side is under all these wires. Now I am going to remove the wires because I know where they go, and I may be able to get to it. Now, that's my first job, is I'm going to try that first, see how much area or how much what I can get into here. If I can get that gun into there and safely do it that way, I'll probably do it that way because I'd rather take the whole can out. It's just easier to do. I can redo this connection here. That's not a big deal at all. So, alright, let me see if I can work on that a little bit and bring you back, and we'll see what happens. Alright, I am back again. I have been trying to get this. I did get all this out of here, and I can get this, like I said, this heats up really nice, and I might be able to get that if I could get that twisted around like it's supposed to be, but it's hard to tell which way it's supposed to be. I'm assuming it's supposed to be this way, like these are this way. So now this other one's going to be a little harder. I can get all these off. That's not a problem, but like I said, it's just it's going to be a little harder to get to. So I'm going to try it again, and if I don't have any progress this time, I'm going to turn this over and get my Dremel and see if I can work on this side first and get down in here, and I'll probably lift up that as much as I can with a screwdriver and try to get in there and cut that lead off. It doesn't hurt anything to leave it in there. In fact, I like the fact that you know, you can use it as a ground terminal right there. You can see it's got a resistor, and well, this capacitor connects to it. That's not a big deal. But anywho, that's what I'm working on. So let me get back to it again, and I'll bring you back. Well, as you can see, I have it out. Here's the evidence here. I was able to get the other stuff off, and these wires here, well, that's the second one there, but there's 3 more wires over here that go to that last terminal, and those are off. Now this one here, I think, is still good. I'm going to double check it with the ohm meter, make sure that those are still grounded good, but they seem to be good and solid there, and I may try to get some of this excess off a little bit. I cleaned this up the best I could over here, and this one here, again, I may try to put that line cord wire back over here again. I don't know yet. We'll see. But probably not a hard thing to do. So we'll think about that, and kind of sort of think about my now this hole here would be a good place to mount a terminal strip, obviously, and I'm just trying to see if it would be, I think I'd be better off on top doing this. There's room here to do it, but just barely, and anytime you have a situation like that, I think, you know, it's best to go with the easier solution, because of you still have a lot of wiring to do down here. I got to put all these wires back in. There's the one from the selector switch, or not the selector, but that's the one from the line cord, and here's the other line cord there. See, now this one has to come, this from back here. If I get back over here, this one has to come and go to the switch, and then come back from the switch and go to this tube socket for the heaters. And it also is the one that goes to the B+, to the rectifier. And that's what I've got to try to figure out the best way I can is to get that done. So I may go ahead and just pull this volume control out switch and get it out of the way. It's still attached, obviously, but I think I can back it out enough. You guys are not even seeing that. This here, I think I can back this out enough to lay it over this way and get it out of the way, so I can do all my work, and then do the last thing I do is to put those wires on the switch. There's a lot of bare wires in here, I've noticed that, which is not good in a way, but you know, this is how they did it, I guess. This one here is bare. It goes to the, I'm assuming, to the chassis. I don't see where else it would go. Or it goes through the chassis. Maybe it's because it's bare. Maybe it's the chassis connection ground and just having it going through the I don't know, I'll have to look on the other side, but like I say, it's odd the way they do these things. Now I did find a better schematic for this. It was an Admiral. I forget the model number. I'll flash it up on the screen, but all the tubes match, and the power supply is general match. Now where I have a 200 ohm resistor, they have a 100 ohm, but other than that, most of it's pretty much exactly the same tube lineup. So AM, FM, and like I said, it's very similar. I'm going to use it until something better comes along, if it doesn't. For doing any troubleshooting I need on this radio, because that's about as close as I'm going to get, I think. So like I said, when they've got the same tube lineup, it's you know, pretty much slam dunk. They're going to be very similar, if not exactly the same. So I'm going to unplug my soldering gun. That was very instrumental in getting all this out, because it heats up so well. I was able to do all this. So like I say, I'm gonna next work on like I say, finding out how I want to mount the new, let's pull this back a little bit, mount the new filter capacitor, and on the top, I think, like I said. So that's probably what I'm going to do next, and I think it's going to end this video. That's what I was after today, was getting this filter capacitor out, and I've accomplished that goal. So I'm going to rest a little bit and talk with Bob a little bit on it. And y'all know Bob. And we'll get back with you all later at a later date. I'm off from Cali today, so don't have to do that. And but I do tomorrow, so I'm trying to get everything done I can get done today. So I want to add a little bit here on the other side here of this. I did get this. It was here. Cut that off, and this is that hole. Remember we showed you the hole coming through there? This is where it goes. It solders to the chassis also. That's the screw for the rectifier. I've put that back in there so I'd have it. But I want to back up a little bit and give you an idea. This is how much space I have up here. I have all this area here. Now the tube goes right here, but the 50 EH5. But like I said, this is plenty of room. Put all my resistors, everything in here, and just run the wires up through here. And I think that's the best way to do it, my opinion. Like I said, I've got this is here. I was going to mount the new diode over here and on a terminal strip. I've got plenty of terminal strips, and attach that there, and then I run my resistors and capacitors up on top. Run the wires, like I said, through the chassis, maybe come through this hole or this hole. Now this is a switch. I don't want to go through that if I can help it. Try to go through this one over here maybe or something. But that's the idea I've had so far. So no progress other than that. Just having an idea. So wanted to show you what I did with this. This cleans it off pretty good. This is the you can see that. This is the blob that came off of it from just scraping it off with the soldering gun. So, alright, that's going to do it. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see ya.